Hi everyone, I'm back after a little hiatus there. I wasn't feeling good, so I had to take a break with the videos and doing some of the extra work, but I'm back with something pretty cool. I've got a CMD RamLINK, and I love these things. These are one of my favorite CMD devices. I've done some videos before comparing the load times and such, but this is without a doubt the fastest way to load something into the Commodore. And I'm not talking about, modern things like the Ultimate 2 or something, because I haven't done any comparison with those, but I'm talking about something 30 years old. It was really, in my opinion, kind of in a bad time toward the end of Commodore's going out, and these came in. I think if it could have been where they came in a little earlier, this would have really changed how we used our Commodores back in the day. But I mean, I use them now to run both of my bulletin boards that I run, because you just can't beat it for loading files, large files and small files. However, I think the video where I did the comparison of a CMD FD2000 or so, and then also a 1541, and then the RamLINK, something that took like a minute and a half for the 1541 to load, the RamLINK did it in 1 second. It was almost instantaneous. But anyway, that's another tale. But what we're gonna do today is I just recently got this, and it doesn't have any memory included in it. It's empty on the inside. I'll open it up in a minute. It's in really good shape. I mean, excellent shape. And if you ever use a RamLINK in combination with the CMD HD drive, and you use this parallel port here to connect the RamLINK to your HD drive, it increases the load times on the hard drive. Just unbelievable. These things, they were awesome. They are awesome. If you can ever get your hands on them for a decent price, I mean, they're expensive. And, there's no getting around that. They're just really expensive. But they are so cool. I love them. But anyway, the parallel port really speeds up, anything you connect to the hard drive. This is your power port for the RamLINK itself. This is the second version. It's a V2 2A here. On the earlier versions, they used a 4-pin round DIN connector instead of this, barrel connector. It's a more modern barrel connector. And then this is so you can hook up a battery backup to the RamLINK. So if power's cut, the RamLINK keeps whatever it has on it, as long as that battery pack stays on. I don't have any original battery packs, or I'm sure I can rig up one, but what I always do is hook my RamLINKs into a backup battery system. So if the power goes out or whatever, it stays going just from that system. Well, anyway, so what I'm going to do, and what I'm looking to do is add the memory in here, and we'll take it apart. We're going to go over here and plug it in, and pretty cool. It came with the original floppy disk and the original user's manual. And they're all in really good shape. I mean, very good shape. It's really cool. I always like getting the original manuals and stuff with them. But let's take it over here to the computer, and we'll check it out, make sure it's working. Okay, I got it hooked up here to my test unit. It's a kind of a butchered. It's not butchered. I just don't ever have the top on it, because I end up changing chips in here. But it's a individual computer's reloaded MK2 board, and I use it for a lot of testing my modems and everything. But anyway, we got the RamLINK hooked up, and since it doesn't have any memory on the inside, I've hooked up this 1 megabyte RAM expansion unit here, and that's one cool thing also about this RamLINK, is it has a port here to add extra RAM. So back in the day, if you didn't have a lot of memory in here, you could have just put in the 1700 series Commodore REUs, or aftermarket, whatever. But anyway, so we're gonna fire it up here, and we should see Jiffy DOS from the RamLINK because it comes built in. It kind of jumped the screen there. Let's try it one more time. I don't know why it jumped the screen. Okay, there we go. So it's showing just the Jiffy DOS from the RamLINK. So we're good. By default, the RamLINK will be device number 16. So we're going to switch to device number 16. And it should have already made this memory available. So we're going to hit it. And there it is. It works. It's showing that it's got the memory from the cartridge. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and I'll show you where the memory goes and I'll show you what kind of memory I've got. Okay, so I got the screws out. It's just 4, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, but I wanted to show you, I don't think this has ever been taken apart. There's no scratches on this paint at all. I mean, it is super clean. So we're going to pop it open here. We'll be careful. There we go. Oops. I see a label off of one of the chips. Fell out right here. How about that? That's pretty cool. But anyway, look, there's a rubber band stuck around that. A 30-year-old rubber band's done turned crunchy. Isn't that cool? I don't know why they had that rubber band there. Get all the pieces out. But anyway, this is what we're looking for right here. This is the RAM card that they add in here. It's pretty cool. Very cool. It's really clean. I don't see any corrosion much. It's a little dusty, of course. And here you have a little pin header. You're supposed to hook a wire up from here into your computer if you ever have issues. I don't run it on either one of my setups because I never have any issues with problems with the programs loading correctly or whatever, but it's to help out with the timing. So you put a little pin header here with a single wire. It goes inside your computer. It hooks up inside your computer. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video later and we can I can show you where it goes. Okay, now to add the type of memory chips that I want to add into this thing, you have to cut a trace on the board, and it tells you how to do it in your user's manual here. Let me see if I can find this section real quick. If I can't, we'll just skip it. It's back here in the very back. I should have already had it marked. I don't have to do this. There we go. Getting close to it here. Okay, so here it is. This tells you about installing your chips here, and this is what I was wanting to show you here on the RamLINK or the memory card itself. There's a little trace right here that you have to cut so you can add in the 16 megabytes, which is what we're fixing to do. So we'll have to cut that trace right there also, and then I'm going to show you the memory. I got this off of good old eBay, of course. And I know this memory works because I've used it in several other RamLINKs. But it's if you can get a shot right here, it shows you the specs of it: 30-pin SIM, 80NS. It says for Apple, Mac, to blah, 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 blah. I know that, but it does work in these RamLINKs. I've used it. Now, how did I figure out that it works in there? Because I bought several different types and tried it. And it works. It works great. I've probably used it in 3 or 4 RamLINKs. I have had that many at once for sure. Right now, I just got 3. Only 3. But, this company, who are these guys? I'll put the link in the description. Memory 10, they're out of California. I've gotten several things from them, and they do a great job packaging. And to add these chips in is really simple. I'm not even going to cut the video. We're just going to cut the trace, and we'll go right and pop them in real quick. So let me grab my razor blade here. hope you guys can see this good enough. But right here is where we're going to do it. I'm just going to cut this little piece right between the two. I always cut two ways, one side and then the other. And that should have it right there. Okay, so it's good. We're gonna add our memory in here. It's very simple to do. Pop it out. Come on, fat fingers. There we go. Push it down in there and then you slide it back a little bit, just a touch, and those little pins will pop right in there. Man, these had never had memory in them. I could tell. It's tight in there. Okay. Now, do you ever need 16 megabytes? I don't use hardly any in the RamLinks I use for my bulletin board. But, you know, this memory's so cheap now, there's no sense in not just going ahead and filling it up good. And one more. Make sure they're all in there nice and tight. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to put the screws back in it and we'll go over here and test it again. All right, so we got it all hooked up. We're going to test to make sure that the memory that we put in there is working correctly. Okay, we got the access light comes on, activity light really quick, and we got to change to device number 16 again. And there we go. 65,000 blocks, which is 16 megabytes. So not too bad. Okay, so we're going to test to make sure that it will transfer something over to the memory. I've got my RamLINK Tools disk in the FD2000, so we're going to copy from there to the RamLINK. So I'm going to change back to device number 8. We're going to copy to 16, load the directory. I don't know if anybody has ever used the JiffyDOS tools for copying one file or several, but this will allow you to copy the whole, all the files off the disk. So you list the directory and you hit Control A, and it's see the asterisk beside all of them, and then you just type run, and it'll copy right over. See the activity light here, and if you see down here that it's doing the same thing. So it'll copy these files over to the RamLINK. It's going to take a little bit. Because this is definitely not a fast file copier, but it does pretty good, and I like it just because it's built into JiffyDOS, so you don't have to mess around and hunt down another disk, copying program or whatever. And we'll test the loading speed on it here in a second as soon as it's done. But I wanted to copy the whole disk just to make sure it'll run through without any errors. So it'll take just a few minutes, and we'll come back to it when it's done. Okay, so it's done copying all the files over. I'm going to switch back to device 16, and you'll see all of them there. Okay, now, how fast is a RamLINK? Okay, we'll show you a little demo real quick. I'm going to go back to 8. Now, this has got JiffyDOS built into it, the FD2000, so when we load from it, it'll be a lot faster than a normal 1541 or 1581 or whatever. So I'm just going to load the RAM tools, which is the first file right here. It's 41 blocks, so it's not going to take long anyway. Okay, see that only took a few seconds, right? No big deal. All right, we're going to clear it out. All right, now we're going to go to device number 16. Furnace RAM tools again, 41 blocks. Okay, now watch this time. Here we go. Bam. See how quick that was? I mean, it took a few seconds with the FD2000. And then it took no time. I mean, not instant, but pretty dang close. So not too bad. If we used this RamLINK in combination with a super CPU, it would be mind-blowing. I mean, I've got it on my one bulletin board that I run, and I've got a super CPU with the RamLINK hooked into it. Man, it is ridiculous. But anyway, so we're gonna run the RAM tools here. I'm going to change the device number. Right now it's at 16. We're going to change it down to 8. And it's done. And you can you can partition this thing and have several different partitions on here. You know, it allows you to do all those, all your tools, your work for your RamLINK is done right here. Mainly setting up your partitions, telling which partition you want to be the default, all that. So just like a CMD hard drive, it has all these same types of tools. So anyway, that's it. That's how you add memory into the RamLINK. It's normally that easy if you get the right memory, and of course if your RamLINK's working correctly. So make sure, if you ever do it or have to do it, that your RamLINK's working before you go messing with the add the memory in, because you could be getting errors and it might not even be associated with the memory. But anyway, pretty cool stuff.